Greetings, folks. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of July. Cheers. I want to thank you very much, Gunnar in Stockholm, Sweden. Thank you very much for the, excuse me, I got to shave. Thank you so very, very much for your kindness. The birthday gift. The birthday gifts. It's like, wow, you folks are so kind to me. Gunnar sent me this wonderful Kraftwerk t-shirt. Kraftwerk is one of my favorites. Doesn't that look great? Man, that's awesome. As well, he sent me, I haven't tried this one on yet, but this is way cool and kind of swank. A David Bowie Black Star. This one will be, this one fits tight. I actually kind of like it, even though this will probably be more comfortable, this XL, to wear. And the letter is so kind, as well as the pendant or the keychain. I'll show that in a second. These kinds of things, well, I don't do a lot of shopping except for records and food. So I don't know that these kinds of t-shirts are available in Omaha. They might be, but I don't shop for them, so I don't know. But I doubt that I would find something like this in Omaha. A magma keychain. The famous magma logo. Thank you so much. And he reminded me that he was the one that gave me the magma t-shirt that I own and the Vertigo. Just killer stuff. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Cheers again. I love Kraftwerk. I really do. I've mentioned several times over the years how much I love electronic music. Was basically turned on to electronic music through noticing it in advertising as a child. Like, how are they making these sounds? There's still some public service ads or something that I remember as a child. I'll never forget this music, and I haven't heard it since. It's kind of spooky, and I just wish I could find it. But Stockhausen was the next. Before I heard the Beatles using a synthesizer in pop music, I was introduced through going to the library to Pierre Henry and Luciano Berio and Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. I love electronic music. I'll show some stuff that I have. They have a whole lot of stuff, so obviously I don't have it all. I do collect Kraftwerk, though, and this live album, 4-record set, minimum, maximum. This is real good. It's a real good recordings of what they do. I've watched some of the footage of them on tour this year. And it's not so much that I would want to see Kraftwerk again now, except to see the display. Ultimately, it's a fantasy. Some of you folks have watched the live performance I did a few years ago at Slowdown here in Omaha. It was part of a festival. It's on my channel, where I'm on a stage and I have projections behind me, but just on the screen. But my fantasy would be to, it'd be very expensive. Would be to present my music in a Kraftwerk like setting where it's fully enveloping media, visuals, and big sound. Man, that would be so much fun to present my music like that. My Kraftwerk is right here, and I've shown them over the years. I'm just going to pull. Oh, let's see, because I got a lot. But I'll talk just a little bit. So the first Kraftwerk record that I bought was Ralph and Florian, and this is it. This is the copy. This came out in 1973, I'm pretty sure. Recorded in 73. And I do remember buying this because I found it in Lincoln, Nebraska at Dirt Cheap, which was for the longest time the coolest record store in the state. Homer's was second. Homer's is number one. Now, of course, Grapefruit is my personal favorite, but I love this album. I've played it to death. This is wonderful. This is the Kraftwerk, the beauty. You know that the words escape me, but there's the similarity to the cluster harmonia feel, pastoral. You know, it's like it's electronic, and it's also very organic, and it makes me think of nature. Interesting, huh? So the second record I owned by Kraftwerk was given to me, but this is the first thing I heard by them. And this is the copy that was owned by the Reese brothers. I talked about them. They were friends of mine who were Air Force kids, traveled all over, grew up primarily in France. But when I met them in high school, they turned me onto this stuff. And then they gave me a bunch of these records when they moved away. So they gave me this one. And originally they gave me the first one, but someone stole it. This was stolen. I didn't leave this somewhere. This was liberated at a gathering. Someone who I thought was a friend. I've had it happen a few times. I had one friend years later admit to stealing a Throbbing Gristle single, and I got it back. Did I get it back? Well, he admitted he stole it. I don't have the single now. That's why I'm wondering if I ever got it back. But these first albums, which they won't reissue, I think are extraordinary and pointing as a sign of things to come. Kraftwerk number 2, though, with Kling Klang. That's hypnotic. It's fantastic. I love it. And then recently I got these bootlegs of them on colored vinyl at Grapefruit. The pressings are shit, honestly. But it was like, I couldn't leave them in the store. This would have been the sort of item that, because I've done this in the past, where I didn't have enough money to get everything, and then I would obsess about what I had to leave behind. And I said to myself, if I don't buy these, even though I don't need them, I'll obsess about them, having left them behind. So I just grabbed them both. And they're items for the collection because they're horribly pressed. And then here's my original copy of Audubon. I bought it when it came out. Saw the tour, their first time to America, with Pavlov's Dog opening with David Surkamp on vocals. Really, it was just a mismatch. It was just such a horrible mismatch. And since then, I've owned both Pavlov's Dog albums, and I've gotten rid of them because I can't get past that vocal. This was amazing in concert. It was just something you had never seen people present music like this before. They were so static, and with the light boxes with their names on them. They had these light boxes. All four of them had them, and the homemade percussion tables that the guys played. It was very cool. And just what's next, because I'm not going to show them all. I got a bunch. I have all their primary releases and several singles. Tour de France. This was mystifying to me a little bit when it came out, how they were just doing the same song over and over again. You know, Tour de France, different mixes, different, you know. But Kraftwerk does what it does. That's the album. Here's a maxi single of it. And when this came out, I was kind of over Kraftwerk until Computer World. I did not like, and I still don't. Now, in retrospect, it's pleasant. But when it came out, it was like, oh, can't I do something else? Frankly, it was the same with Man Machine. It was Computer World that got me back into them. Which, let me just go ahead and grab that, because that to me was like the return of what I thought was cool about Kraftwerk. This album, still have the CD when I bought it first on CD when it came out. Computer World. This is killer. This is a favorite. This is I don't know where this is from, but I'll show it because it's nice. That's nice. And then of course I got the reissues that they did recently. Where at first I wasn't very happy with them. I thought to myself, these sound they don't sound clearer. They sound like they've rounded off the top end more than I would have liked. I've gotten comfortable with the sound of them since then. Where they put it out on 2 records, Computer World recently, like maybe 3 years ago. But that's probably my favorite Kraftwerk album. Trans-Europe Express, yeah. Let's back with it. Then so this is the reissue of Man Machine. I don't have the German version, which I don't need. But here's a U.S. probably an early U.S. original pressing. Love Kraftwerk as well as Magma and David Bowie. I'd be here all day showing. If I showed you, not all day, but if I were to show the complete collections of Kraftwerk, Bowie, and Magma, it'd take a couple hours. I have quite a bit of Bowie, and I got turned on to Bowie as a kid, Space Oddity, but the homoerotic aspect of his music came through right away, and I was conflicted with it because I was a kid, and this is back in the 60s, going on in the 70s, when homophobia was still just real thick. I was unsure of my sexuality. It was already bad enough being black. It's like, shit, I don't want to be gay on top of it. So frankly, David Bowie's music and image at first kind of bugged me. But I came around, and I have a big Bowie collection. I really love David Bowie. Radioactivity. The reissue of Autobahn. I like that design. And this, which has been panned critically, but I love it. The mix. And when it came out, loved it. I love it. So, I hear my neighbors already. They're already going on already. So, I'm actually going to go out and join them this morning to discuss the latest regarding our properties and the city. But thank you, Gunnar, so much for sharing this with me. And okay, that's what I got to say today.